Today we will come into our yesterday chapter. Today we'll finish that chapter, meditation. So far we have studied different types of meditation, what meditation is, and meditation as per different philosophies of India and yogic sciences, yogic textbooks. And you understood meditation according to Jainism and also according to Buddha. You learned Rupa Jhana, Arupa Jhana, and Nirodha Samapatti. Okay, Rupa Jhana is meditation with forms, and Arupa Jhana is meditation without forms or with no forms. And Nirodha Samapatti is when we give up everything, even neither we meditate on forms nor no forms. So we just flow. We just flow with nature. We just flow with, time, energy, breath. We just flow with life. Okay. So this is called Nirodha Samapatti. So, and when we come into that state, that is the ultimate state of mind or meditation. Means we don't have any preferences. We don't have any grudges. We don't have any prejudices. We don't live with guilt. We don't live with any memory. We are just fresh like, flowing water. Okay. So this is called Nirodha Samapatti. That is the final, and that is beyond. That is ultimate meditation technique. Okay. And now we will study about a form of meditation called Zen meditation. Okay. Zen. So Zen meditation was founded by Bodhidharma in 5th and 6th century, and he was an Indian monk and who traveled to China, and he went there and he formed a special kind of meditation. It's called Zen, but in China that was called Chan meditation. Chan. Okay, in China that was called Chan, and then from China that traveled to different countries, okay, and that was called with different names. So when Chan traveled to Vietnam, that became Thien. And when that traveled to Northeast Korea, that became Sion. Okay, and from North Korea that traveled to Japan, that became Zen meditation. So Zen meditation is actually Japanese name, but that is actually Jhan in Pali, Chan in Chinese, and Zen in Japanese. Okay, and in Zen tradition, they study some sutras of Buddha called Lankavatara Sutra. So once Buddha traveled to Sri Lanka, that time Lanka was also in India only. So he traveled to that part and he gave discourses about meditation and other things and mind systems. And that collective sutra, the collection of dialogues, is compiled in a book called Lankavatara Sutra. So Zen tradition's main textbook is Lankavatara Sutra and Prajnaparamita Sutra. That is very short, Prajnaparamita Sutra. So their practices are based on these scriptures, these books. And in Zen, Zazen meditation is very popular. Okay, Zazen. So Za means sitting, and Zen is meditation. So Zazen means sitting meditation. So they do nothing, just they sit facing to the wall. Normally we keep the wall behind us. Okay, but Zen meditation practitioners, they keep wall in front of them. Okay, so that is called Zazen, sitting meditation. And in Zazen meditation, they sit towards wall and they assume a posture, posture Normally the Vajrasana kind of posture, Vajrasana or lotus posture, lotus, full lotus or half lotus. But traditionally they sit in full lotus. They master the full lotus posture. And then they give instructions on concentrations, okay, cone introspection, and shikancha, just sitting. So these are the parts of their Zazen meditation. Okay. So this is most popular in Zen meditation. So Zen meditation is simply sitting, doing nothing, not visualizing, just sitting and observing the nature, observing the mind, observing just the nature of everything. Okay. So this is Zen meditation. Now next meditation is called mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation is an excellent meditation technique or meditation practice. Actually, mindfulness is the core practice of all types of meditation, be that Zazen or Vipassana or Kundalini meditation or other types of meditation. Mindfulness is core. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is when you observe anything with your entire mind, complete mind. When you observe anything with complete mind, that is called mindfulness. Okay? With complete mind. Normally people are not complete with mind. They are partial. So mindfulness starts with that practice only. First, collect your entire mind. Actually, nobody can collect entire mind because mind is infinite. If you can collect the 10% of mind, that is sufficient to work wonder, to produce greater effects. Normal people don't use even their 2% or 3% of mind. Okay? The genius people use their 5% mind, genius. Or the scientists or super genius, they use 7% or 10% of total mind. That's why they become super scientist or super genius. Actually, mind is unlimited. Nobody knows what is 100%. You cannot use your 100% mind. But yes, you should try to use your mind as much as you can. Okay? So this is called mindfulness. So the word mind, abbreviation, if you learn this, then you will understand mindfulness, what mindfulness is. And rest of the paragraphs are just explanations and the commentaries of this mindful word. Okay, so all these 7 characters of mindful word is 7 characteristics of mindfulness, or 7 essential components of mindfulness. So first M is moment-to-moment awareness. So if you practice moment-to-moment awareness, that is mindfulness practice. Okay, every moment you observe, every moment. So currently, this word, not this word, not this. You are noting, you are observing every moment. So M stands for moment-to-moment awareness. Okay. Yes. Now I stands for in the here and now. So when you try to practice to be in the here and now, in the present moment, in this room, with the current affair, with the current work, so that is also a part of mindfulness practice. Okay. I. And N stands for non-judgmentally. Okay, non-judgmentally. You know, unawakened people or unintelligent people are very judgmental. They remain in a hurry to judge a person, an institute, or a thing, an incident. Normally people judge very quickly, but next moment or next day or next year or after a decade, they find that I was wrong in judging. Okay, and that is proved as wrong. So being judgmental is actually against mindfulness practice or against my meditation. So mindfulness teaches, don't judge, just wait. Whatever is being offered by the nature or by the world, or whatever is you are facing or confronting, that is for purpose, that is with purpose. And you may understand right now, but later you'll interpret that, yes, that was very meaningful. That was good for me. Okay, so this is called non-judgmental. N, okay, M-I-N. Now D is detachment or defocus. Detachment or defocus. So you detach yourself, you defocus from everything, and you be here. Means detachment means actually detachment from everything. Then only you feel free. Otherwise, you are not free. If you want to feel free, then you have to detach from everything. Yesterday also I explained about that. Cutting the psychic cords. It's called detachment. So if partially or if completely or more, if you practice detachment, that means you are practicing mindfulness. M-I-N-D. Now F. F is forgiveness. Forgiveness. When you practice forgiveness, that is mindfulness practice. So mindfulness is not just sitting with closed eyes, sitting in posture. That is, mindfulness is not limited to that. But whenever you forgive someone for their mistakes, for their misbehaviors, that means you are practicing mindfulness. And that also unburdens you. When you forgive someone, then you don't carry the feelings of grudges, feelings of revenge, or negative feelings. You don't carry that. You just let go. Okay. So this is called forgiveness. Okay. U is unconditional acceptance. Unconditional acceptance. A lot of problems arise because we do not accept the things. We try to reject. We don't accept the things. We don't accept that we have weaknesses. We don't accept that we have limitations. And if you accept, that means you are practicing mindfulness. So first accept whatever merits or demerits we have. First of all, we should accept our demerits, our incompetences. And with that, you will endeavor to get rid of them. And that will how you will change your entire being. You will change your personality, and you will be a different person every month, every year. You will not be the same person as you were the last month or last year. Okay, so this is called unconditional acceptance. Next is L. That is very significant, and this is very difficult, but yes, that is essential part of mindfulness. That is called learn with beginner's mind. Learn with beginner's mind. When you are learning anything, then become absolutely beginner. Okay? The more you have beginner's mind, the greater you learn or deeply you learn. Otherwise, our memories or our the idea of learnings or learned one, they inhibit us from learning new things from new people. Always learn with beginner's mind. Always see the things as if you are seeing the first time. Every moment is new. Every person is new. You meet your friend, you meet your husband or wife or sons or daughter or your friends or relatives. Like, yeah, they're just old people. But every moment, everyone is new, and you will find everyone new if you have this attitude, learning with beginner's mind. Okay? So keeping mind beginners, keeping mind afresh, always curious to learn, always ready to learn and accept things. Okay? This is mindful. And you will find that all of these practices, all of the fundamentals of mindfulness are based on these 7 characteristics of mindfulness. Okay. Next is benefits of mindfulness. Actually, I have mentioned some points as benefits, but the benefits of mindfulness are not limited to these points. Actually, there are lots of or numerous benefits. All the benefits, the main core benefits is your mental well-being, your mental health. Okay. So if you practice mindfulness, your mind is always fresh, not burdened, not stressed. Your mind is brilliant, luminous, cheerful, happy, vibrant. So all these are benefits. Your mind is very focused. Therefore, you are very productive at your workplace. Your mind is very attentive. That is why you understand. When you listen anything from your senior, from anybody, you understand what they mean, what they need, so that you respond them very appropriately. There are lots of benefits of mindfulness. Psychological benefits, physiological benefits, behavioral benefits. So in behavioral dialectical therapy, BDT, this is also very popular. And this is called psychotherapy, psychic therapy. Okay, so there are lots of benefits of mindfulness, psychological and physiological. Why physiological? Because when you practice mindfulness, then your mind is very de-stressed, and stress is the main cause of diseases. Stress damages our endocrine system, and stress also affects badly to our digestion system. Okay, your digestion system becomes weak, and stress also expedites the aging process. Stress. If you live very stressful life, your hairs will start growing, becoming gray, and the hair fall, or the wrinkles on your face, everything will be very visible on your face if you are living very stressful life. Okay. So mindfulness practice interventions will keep you distressed. Although there will be bombarding of stresses, because you cannot avoid stress. Stress is inevitable. You cannot avoid. Nobody can avoid. But we must know how to cope with them, how to manage them, how to handle the very toxic people, or very unfavorable conditions. So mindfulness teaches everything. Okay. So these are numerous benefits of mindfulness. Mindfulness and health, I have already explained our health, mental and physical health, emotional health, behavioral health, all health come in ideal state when you practice mindfulness meditation. Now, preparation for mindfulness practice. Yeah, actually, here I would like to explain you, and this very important thing about mindfulness, that not only about mindfulness, but about entire meditation or all types of meditation. Or let me say that the core practice of meditation. So there are all kinds of meditation practices or mindfulness. One is formal, another is non-formal. Okay. So formal meditation practice is when you spare a time, like 30 minutes or an hour, or maybe 2 hours, 3 hours. If you're advanced meditation practitioner, then you love to meditate for hours. I used to practice meditation for 10 hours, 12 hours, just being absorbed into that. I love meditation, And my master used to practice meditation for 22 hours, 23 hours continuously. These are advanced meditation practices. Okay. And these are called formal meditation practices. When you practice meditation formally, formal means you disconnect yourself from every actions. This is also called static meditation. Static. Okay. Another meditation is called non-formal or informal or dynamic meditation. Dynamic meditation is easy, but formal or static meditation is difficult or an advanced practice. Why? Because if I'll ask you, please sit in a posture for an hour without moving your body, that will be difficult for you, isn't it? That will be difficult. You cannot sit for an hour without moving your body, without opening your eyes. Just after 30 minutes, your eyes would like to open, okay, because of habit pattern. So the formal meditation is difficult, but yes, the formal meditation is very impressive, very influencing. And because this is very intensive, this is very collective, so this governs your life activities. If you practice 1 hour formal meditation, there will be impact of 1 hour formal meditation on your 20 hours of your other time. If you practice 1 hour very intensive meditation, you will find that your behaviors have changed. The way you talk, the way you listen, the way you respond, everything has changed. So formal meditation is when you sit and you do nothing. This is called formal. Non-formal is you practice that dynamically in your day-to-day life activities. Like when you eat, you are mindful in eating. And when you write an email or a letter, you are mindful of every word, every sentence, what you are writing, why you are writing, and how to write effectively. Because you are very mindful. If you are walking, you walk mindfully. Whatever thing you do, even you take a simple thing like taking shower, brushing the teeth, okay, changing the clothes, or if you are smoking, then lifting the cigarette, watching at the cigarette, and watching how the smoke goes inside and how smoke goes outside. You watch everything, So you do everything mindfully. So mindfulness can be practiced in every act of your life. From mindfulness perspective, nothing is unholistic, nothing is profane, everything is meaningful. Every act of life is meaningful and is there with some purpose. Okay, so this is called non-formal meditation practice. Now, what are the preparation for mindfulness practice? Is establishing a suitable setting. Okay, this is formal. So determining the most appropriate time for your practice, you have to determine when you have time. Okay, sometimes if you are late sleeper, if you sleep late and you get up late in the morning, then early morning will not be suitable to you. Okay, so whatever suitable time is to you, you should schedule that I should practice. And when you find that you don't remain in hurry, then you should schedule your daily meditation practice. So this is called determining the most appropriate time for your practice. Second is creating the most congenial location for your practice. Means the environment where you practice, the noise points, or there should not be a lot of stuff in your meditation room. Your meditation room should be empty, and the texture of the wall of your meditation room should not be eye disturbing. That should be very neat and clean, very plain. That's good for meditation. Not texture, not any design, such design which will trigger your mind to be dynamic. Soothing color. So the atmosphere and the environment of your location and the room, place. Mindfulness practice number 1. Now we come into the practice. First practice is anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing. So in mindfulness of breathing, you observe just breathing, nothing. You don't visualize, you don't observe anything, just breathing. How breath enters your nostrils in your body and how that goes out, you have to just observe. This is called anapanasati. Okay? Your focus is on breath. Second mindfulness practice is body scan. Body scan is like Yoga Nidra, and Yoga Nidra is a chapter in this training you learn. Body scan is done normally in Shavasana. You lie down on back, you practice this. Okay, you observe everything, every part of the body, and there are other practices. You learn in Yoga Nidra practice. Okay. Third mindfulness practice is mindful walking. Mindful walking is also formal and non-formal both. When you just walk as a meditation, that becomes formal, but when you are walking for any work or for anything, you are mindful of walking. That is non-formal. Okay. And mindfulness practice number 4 is mindful eating. So mindful eating is also formal and non-formal both. Okay, in corporate world or when there is mindfulness workshop, then I have conducted so many mindfulness workshops and programs for corporate people, for CEOs, directors, at different locations of India, at retreats, and in those workshops, there is a special meditation of mindfulness meditation practice is mindful eating. Okay? So this is formal, but non-formal is every time when you eat mindfully. That is non-formal. Eating raisin, eating orange, eating tangerine. So these are different things. When you eat mindfully. You develop a habit of eating mindfully. Okay. When you are mindful in eating, then you don't throw the foods inside your stomach. You don't just swallow the things without being aware. And when you are in emotional disorder, normally people eat when they feel emotionally, in disposition. And during that time, they eat a lot. They drink and eat when they are feeling low and they are in emotional imbalances. But when you are mindful, then you do not eat either less or more. Okay. So eating is very holistic practice. And your entire health depends on eating. You build your health up with your foods. So be mindful of foods. You taste, you watch the texture of the foods, you smell. You try to taste when you eat everything. Taste everything very distinctly, very clearly. This is called mindfulness of eating. Now, mindfulness practice number 5 is mindfulness of metta. Metta is loving and kindness. Metta is Pali word. In Sanskrit, it's called mitrata, or friendliness. So you develop friendliness, you develop friendship. You consider everyone as your friend. There is no one who is your enemy. Everyone is friend. Even your oppositions, even your, people who are antagonistic to you, who are opposing you, oppositions, So all the negative things, what you think negative, are also your friends. Okay. So you spread the love to your enemies. First, to your enemies or people who had hurt you, people who had abused you, misused you. You send the loving kindness to them first. Then to your friends, family members, and to the entire world. This is called loving kindness. This is also a part of mindfulness practice. And in that practice, you first recall all of the people who you believe negative. You send the positive vibes, positive love, positive things into them. This is called mindfulness practice of metta. Okay? You don't allow the heart rate to be in you. You do not allow the feeling of revenge in you. Okay? You become so positive with this practice that you become enlightened very easily, very quickly. Because without being loving and kind, you cannot be enlightened. Every enlightened person is very loving, very kind, very compassionate. Okay. So that was mindfulness, and following up with mindfulness. When you practice, then you follow up, you watch, you track your development, your progress, and you see that that is manifesting in your life. Okay, and you learn from being mindful from the things, about the things, phenomena. And when you practice mindfulness, then you practice compassion, everything. Okay. And then at the last, there is Chakra Meditation. So in this meditation, you will practice the awareness or mindfulness about the chakras. You go through every chakra, root chakra, then sacral chakra, then solar plexus is the navel chakra, the heart chakra, then throat, then third eye, then crown. You go through every chakra. You visualize its color. Okay, you try to see its color as they are. Okay, don't. So in the beginning you visualize, then you just note. When we close our eyes and whatever color we see, that means that time that chakra is more active. But we can activate the desired chakra, whatever we require. Sometimes you may require heart's energy. Sometimes you may require this energy, the power of this chakra. So there is power latent in every chakra. When you want to visualize, when you want to imagine, then you need this chakra in action. And you can activate with certain practices. When you want to connect with the universe, you want to get some solutions or intuitions from the nature, from the universe, then you need to activate this chakra. Okay? When you want to make love, then you need to activate the second chakra. Okay? When you want to do some vigorous things, physical, when you require physical strength, then you need to awaken the solar plexus, the third one, the navel chakra. Okay? So according to the need, you can activate, and meditate. Through meditation, we activate them. Okay? So there are specific mantras, then visualizations, and then some yoga breathing techniques, some asanas. When you do yoga asanas, unconsciously you are activating relevant chakras. When you do the inversion asanas, you activate your crown chakra. When you do core exercises, you activate your solar plexus. When you do back bending asanas, so all back bending asanas activate your heart chakra and throat chakra. Okay?